Hello and welcome, dear viewers. This is a special report from Weather Today News, bringing you the latest updates on Hurricane Melissa, a tropical storm that is rapidly strengthening over the Caribbean Sea and is forecast to bring severe impacts in the coming days. We are a news channel dedicated to providing updates on weather conditions across the Caribbean and the North Atlantic. Today, we bring you an important bulletin, as Melissa has officially become the greatest threat to Jamaica, Haiti, Cuba, and the Bahamas since the start of this hurricane season. In just a few hours, Melissa has intensified noticeably. Satellite images and data from hurricane hunting aircraft show that the storm's center has become much better organized, with convective cloud bands wrapping tightly around and the vortex becoming more symmetrical. This is a clear sign of a storm entering a rapid intensification phase. According to the latest data, the center of Melissa is currently located about 370 kilometers southeast of Kingston, Jamaica. The central pressure is measured at 997 millibars, with sustained winds of 60 miles per hour, or roughly 100 kilometers per hour. Throughout today, experts have observed a continuous drop in pressure and a faster than expected increase in wind speed. This indicates that Melissa is entering a clear strengthening cycle and will likely continue to intensify in the coming days. One major factor behind Melissa's rapid growth is the highly favorable surrounding environment. The entire Caribbean Sea currently has sea surface temperatures ranging between 30 and 31 degrees Celsius, well above average. In addition, upper-level wind shear, which often tilts or disrupts a storm's structure, is currently minimal. In such calm, warm, and moist conditions, tropical cyclones often intensify rapidly as they draw continuous energy from the ocean surface. As for its movement, Melissa continues to drift slowly east-southeast at about 2 miles per hour. However, forecasts indicate that within the next 24 hours, the storm will begin turning west and then northwest. Over the weekend, Melissa is expected to move slowly along Jamaica's southern coast before curving northward early next week. The most widely supported model scenario suggests that the storm's center will pass very close to, or possibly make landfall in, Jamaica sometime between Monday afternoon and early Tuesday morning. Major forecasting models such as ECMWF, HWRF, and HAFS all agree that Hurricane Melissa will likely reach Category 4 intensity, with winds up to 220 km per hour, as it nears Jamaica. Some models even suggest the storm could reach Category 5, the highest level on the Saffir-Simpson scale, if it continues to move slowly over the extremely warm waters south of the island. If this scenario occurs, Jamaica could face one of its strongest hurricanes in decades. The areas expected to be hardest hit are the island's eastern and southern parishes, which lie directly in the storm's projected path. Meanwhile, the western and northern regions will still experience damaging winds, though impacts there may be slightly less severe depending on the storm's exact trajectory as it nears land. Regarding rainfall, meteorological models are warning of extremely heavy precipitation. From Saturday night through mid-next week, Jamaica could receive between 250 and 500 millimeters, 10 to 20 inches, of rain. In mountainous regions, especially in the island's east, where moist air will be forced upward by high terrain, rainfall totals could exceed 1.000 millimeters, or about 1 meter. Such amounts could trigger flash flooding, landslides, and widespread inundation. Not only Jamaica, but also Haiti and the Dominican Republic, especially their southern provinces, are already being affected and will continue to see heavy rain for several days. Due to steep terrain and already saturated soil after prolonged rainfall, the risk of landslides and mudflows in Haiti's mountainous areas is extremely high. Many communities could become isolated as roads are washed away or blocked by debris. In Haiti, several observation stations have already recorded more than 150 millimeters of rainfall in just 24 hours. And that trend continues to rise. Along the southern coast, winds are gradually strengthening, with gusts exceeding 60 kilometers per hour in some locations. Even though Melissa is still far away, its large circulation is spreading strong winds and rough seas across hundreds of kilometers. raising coastal water levels and causing flooding in low-lying areas. As Melissa moves northwestward, its impacts will extend to southeastern Cuba around midweek. Forecast models currently indicate that the storm could maintain Category 3 strength as it passes through this region, bringing heavy rain and strong winds. Afterward, the system is expected to move toward the waters between Turks and Caicos and the Bahamas, where it could cause significant damage if it maintains its current intensity. Experts warn that the greatest dangers from Melissa come from three main factors: extremely strong winds, prolonged heavy rainfall, and slow movement. Slow-moving storms often subject the same areas to extended impacts, resulting in dangerously high total rainfall. For this reason, many official forecasts have used the word catastrophic to describe the potential consequences. In terms of timing, residents across the Caribbean should note the following key points. In Haiti and southern Dominica, the storm has already begun affecting weather conditions and will continue throughout the weekend with heavy rain and strong winds. In Jamaica, the island's eastern regions will begin seeing strong winds and showers by Saturday evening. From Sunday onward, winds will intensify rapidly, and by Sunday night into Monday, many areas will experience Category 3 to 4 hurricane-force winds. In southeastern Cuba, the storm is expected to approach between Tuesday and Wednesday. For the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos, impacts are likely by mid to late next week. In Jamaica, local authorities have issued tropical storm warnings and are expected to upgrade them to hurricane warnings within the next 24 hours. Residents are urged to complete all preparations before severe weather begins, including stocking up on food, clean water, batteries, and securing safe shelter. Low-lying coastal areas should be especially alert for storm surges and large waves, potentially reaching 3 to 6 meters due to strong onshore winds from the east. Experts also caution that the storm's eastern and southeastern quadrants, often referred to as the dangerous right front of the hurricane, are where the strongest winds and heaviest rain occur. If Melissa's center passes south of Jamaica, then Kingston and surrounding areas would be directly within this hazardous sector, facing the highest risk of severe damage. Further west, the Cayman Islands may be spared a direct hit, but due to the storm's large wind field, the area will still experience strong gusts and scattered showers. Some models suggest the outer bands could brush Little Cayman and Cayman Brac with tropical storm-force winds, though rainfall there is expected to be less intense than in Jamaica or Haiti. For Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, Melissa may bring isolated thunderstorms, especially to the western side of the islands, but overall impacts should remain moderate. These rains would mainly come from outer rainbands rather than the storm's core. Given this situation, experts emphasize that Melissa's movement speed remains the most critical factor to monitor. Fast-moving storms cause strong winds for shorter periods, but slow-moving ones can lead to devastating flooding. Currently, Melissa is moving at only about 3 to 4 kilometers per hour, a very slow pace similar to past hurricanes that caused historic flooding in the Caribbean. Structurally, Melissa's eye is becoming more circular and symmetrical. Satellite imagery suggests a well-defined eye could form within 24 to 36 hours, a clear indication that the system is reaching major hurricane status. When that happens, the central pressure may drop below 950 millibars, comparable to previous superstorms recorded in the region. Melissa's impacts will not be limited to wind and rain. Large waves and storm surges will also pose serious threats, because hurricane winds spin counterclockwise. Jamaica's eastern and southeastern coasts will face onshore winds that drive seawater inland for hours. Combined with torrential rain, this could push seawater 1 to 2 kilometers inland in some low-lying areas. Experts warn that coastal residents must prepare evacuation plans in advance. In particular, people living in areas such as Morant Bay, Port Antonio, and Kingston should seek safe shelter before strong winds begin. Once hurricane-force winds arrive, traveling outdoors becomes extremely dangerous. For fishermen, all maritime activities must stop immediately. High waves and dangerous currents can easily overwhelm vessels. even hundreds of kilometers from the storm's center. Fishing ports and harbors across Jamaica, Haiti, Cuba, and the Bahamas have been instructed to secure or dock all boats safely. Beyond the areas directly affected by Melissa, other regions in the Caribbean and North America are also experiencing notable weather patterns. In Western Canada, a low-pressure trough is moving inland, carrying a moisture-laden atmospheric river that may bring heavy rainfall, strong winds, and potential flooding in British Columbia over the next few days. Meanwhile, eastern Canada and the Great Lakes region are forecast to experience cloudy, damp, and occasionally rainy conditions as October ends, coinciding with the Halloween period. Conversely, northern Canada is under the influence of a developing high-pressure ridge, resulting in dry weather and temperatures well above average. In some northern areas, temperatures may rise 3 to 5 degrees Celsius higher than last year's levels. Quite a contrast to the typically cold late October weather. Returning to the Caribbean, what we're witnessing with Melissa is a combination of dangerous elements, exceptionally warm ocean waters, favorable upper-level winds, slow motion, and abundant tropical moisture. Together, they create the perfect conditions for a powerful hurricane. In the context of global climate change, scientists also note that rapidly intensifying storms like Melissa have become more frequent in recent years. To summarize, based on the latest data and forecasts, Hurricane Melissa is undergoing rapid intensification and could reach Category 4 or even Category 5 strength as it approaches Jamaica. Its main threats include torrential rainfall, up to 500 to 1,000 millimeters, violent winds, between 200 to 250 kilometers per hour, high seas and storm surges of 3 to 6 meters, extreme risk of flash flooding, landslides, and severe infrastructure damage. Residents in Jamaica, Haiti, Cuba, and the Bahamas are urged to complete preparations today and tomorrow. If you live in coastal or riverine areas, move to higher ground, prepare backup power sources, ensure sufficient drinking water and food supplies, and maintain communication access. Most importantly, follow instructions from local authorities and disaster management agencies. Do not underestimate this storm. Hurricane Melissa will continue to be closely monitored in the coming days. While conditions may change, all current indicators suggest this is an extremely powerful system with high destructive potential. Media Mundo News will keep you updated with the latest satellite imagery, forecast tracks, and intensity reports in upcoming bulletins. You can follow our live updates on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and other social media platforms. If you live in affected areas, please share this video with your family and friends so that everyone stays informed. Ladies and gentlemen, nature often brings us unexpected challenges. But with preparation, calmness, and solidarity, we can minimize risks and protect ourselves and our communities. We will return in our next broadcast with further updates on Hurricane Melissa. Thank you for watching this special report from Weather Today News. We wish you and your families safety and peace as we all brace for Hurricane Melissa's approach.